Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, Sophie, the hardest working royal, Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, she's going to be turning 60 here and on January 20th, I believe. So I want to do a birthday reading for her. Sophie, the hardest working royal. She has actually been just honestly, I wish, it's too bad that Diana passed away. Well, for many, many reasons, but I think her and Diana would have been great friends. They just seem like they would have been two peas in a pod, to tell you the truth. Close in age, same kind of styles. Maybe not. I don't know. To me, they just really have, the same kind of caring vibe. Sophie. Happy birthday, Sophie. What can Sophie expect in this upcoming year? What can Sophie expect in this upcoming year? For Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Hardest working royal. Really pulling up the slack with people being sick and off duty. Cards are ready. Birds, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Rider, oh, some kind of information that's going to, I gotta make sure. I moved my camera and I'm having a hard time getting it back to where it was. Oh, man. So, oh, clover. Oh, heart. And moon. Wow. Some kind of, whatever's been bothering her is going to clear up. And it's actually going to be quite exciting. The birds, they're chirp, right? And they create chatter. And if all good cards are around it, ooh, the lily in the book. If all good cards are around it, it's great chatter. Like people are excited for you and talk a lot and whatnot. Ooh, scythe, bouquet, and dog, and woman. Okay, well, that's her. Okay, Edward's going to hear some kind of news that changes things very quickly. We aren't allowed to know what that news is, but it doesn't look like bad news. The bouquet is around, the lilies are around, and Edward, and then we even have, it's news that affects both of them. It'll come out of the blue here with the rider and the scythe, but it'll be very good. So perhaps they're going to be grandparents. I doubt it. There's not a child here, and their children are much too young. There's some kind of exciting news that perhaps they've been waiting for. It's very happy news. It might come from a friend or somebody who has been very loyal to them. Perhaps, just want to make sure all those fit in. Yeah, one of their friends is going to do very, very well, and it's going to affect them somehow. We aren't allowed to know exactly what that is. We got the book here. It's something it'll evolate. Brain, get online. Elevate this person. And somehow there's going to be some kind of news about a friend or something that really makes her happy. It really affects her. Maybe it's Catherine's good news already, right? It could be something like that. But there's some kind of news that actually, it comes out of the blue. It's extremely good news. Extremely good news. Like this would be a lottery win almost, or a lottery win, or perhaps the king surprises them with an elevation in status. I don't know how. I guess, I think they're trying to make the Duke of Edinburgh hereditary rather than has to be presented So if it's hereditary, that means that their son James would be the next duke, that kind of thing. So they're going to hear some kind of news like that, and it's going to elevate them, and it's going to come out of the blue, and it's really going to make them happy, extremely happy. I wonder if that's what it is, because it's something that's been bothering them, that's created some stress and whatnot, and it just kapow, it comes out and it clears up so many things and it makes a lot of people excited. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe hear that they finally get the hereditary dukedom, and then that's also good for their son. Sometimes dogs can be your children as well, right? Because my dog's my child. Um, Sometimes it can, especially when your children are older, rather than get the little child. Sometimes a dog can be your child or your brother if it's a younger brother, a younger person, that kind of thing. So, but we have the unknown here, or perhaps maybe their son gets like a big scholarship, or their daughter gets a big scholarship, or some such thing. But something is going to happen. It's going to make them extremely happy, very, very happy. They're going to hear this news right away, right away. And it's really going to lift a lot of anxiety. It really could be about Catherine. Honestly, it really could be that Catherine's in remission, but they would have known that. That wouldn't have been surprising news, right? That wouldn't be like, um, it'd be like that's almost like, someone's 9 months pregnant and then you hear the baby's born. Well, that's nice, happy news, but it's not surprising. The person's pregnant. So they probably knew eventually they'll hear that she's in remission. So I doubt it's about Catherine. It's something that makes them both extremely happy, extremely happy. Um, I'm not seeing any difficulties for her at all. I see a lot of happy surprises for her this year. I see a lot of love for her this year. I see she's going to be more in the media, and it's actually going to elevate her. The people are going to love her more and more and more. Um, it's almost like she's going into her 60th year is going to be one of great admiration from the public. People are going to see how she's matured into this beautiful woman, and how River says going into the autumn of her life, with really high regard and high love. And I think they're coming out of some kind of anxiety. And look at this, number one. So right away in January, they're going to hear this fantastic news that's going to blow these storm clouds away. And it's really lucky, good news here for her. She's going to just really this is going to be a really peaceful year for her. Really peace of mind, especially for her and Edward. Yeah, she's going to get maybe she'll be like publicly acknowledged by the king, but she's going to be elevated in some regards. Her past actions are going to elevate her. I really like this reading for her, actually. She's going to be happy for friends. She's going to be happy for her children. She's happy in her life. There's so much contentment in this reading. And I'm really excited to see what these happy surprises are. Because the scythe is sudden endings, but it can be sudden endings of bad news, of bad things, of, you have a big debt and guess what? You get a big bonus at work and you can pay it off, right? So it's a sudden ending of your debt, but it makes you very happy, right? So with the bouquet and the lilies here, there's lots. The bouquet is always big happiness, big happiness. Can be a lottery win sometimes too. Maybe they'll hear of a friend who has a lottery win or some such thing, or maybe a friend who's going through a hard time, comes out ahead. But something that brings them peace of mind and happiness, especially if it affects Edward. Especially if it affects Edward. Perhaps it's the end of his personal demons that we've been reading about, that he's been going through. Perhaps, that's over and done with. But there is something here with the book closed. There's some news that even we aren't expecting. Even we aren't expecting. Perhaps it could actually be like a scholarship, or one of the children gets an award somehow for doing well. I believe the son wants to go into the Army or the Air Force, and the daughter's doing well in school. It looks like she's going to become a working royal. So it could be one of their children is elevated, and then that makes them happy. I mean, what parent isn't happy when their children are elevated and moving on up and doing well? I mean, you just have this sense of pride, that and happiness for them. And it brings so much joy into your life to see them thriving and doing well. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of media around her, and I think she's well deserved. She's going to be well loved. I don't think she's going to put a step sideways this year. She's just going to continue being Sophie, continue showing up, continuing smiling, doing well. I wouldn't be surprised if they get elevated to in that the Duke of Edinburgh, that the king changes it so that it's hereditary, and then James would be I think James would be the next one. Dukedoms go to dukes, don't they? And so that would elevate him as well eventually, right? So there could be something there that they're happy that it's going to stay in the family. Went from grandpa to dad to son to, hopefully on and on. But yeah, I don't see any losses for her at all. Honestly, I don't. If there are losses, it's not going to affect her as much as anybody else. She has the bouquet. When you have the bouquet, I mean, that elevates negative cards, so that so if you have mental stress, it's not as bad if you have the bouquet as if you had the whip by it, for example. Yes, lots of peace of mind. Lots of peace of mind. I think Edward's going to get some kind of promotion. I don't know. And the kids are going to do well, or one of them is going to do well. One of them is going to make them very proud or happy. And I think they're going to hear that right away. Most of their happiness won't come till later in the year, by next fall, next autumn. All right, well, there you go. Well, happy birthday, Sophie. Happy 60th. I hope you have a fantastic year. Thank you for spending this time with me. See you in the next one.